Good morning, hello, or good afternoon if you are logging on to do your geography lesson in the afternoon. Okay, we are continuing with geography this term. So all of the first term learned about land use, and we looked at different maps and how land is used. Now we're going to be zoning in to a particular biome and learning all about that one, which I think everyone will be excited to learn about the rainforest. So in our last term, we looked at lots of different biomes. So we looked at deciduous forests, we looked at deserts as well, and we touched on a little bit of the rainforest. But now we're going to go diving straight into the rainforest and learn all about it. Okay, let's have an introduction to the rainforest then. Okay, rainforests, they cover less than 6% of the land's surface. So these sections here on our maps, this is our world map, we are just here. Rainforests only cover 6%. So you can see where there are different forests. So the darker green one is a temperate rainforest. So it means that they have much less rain. So up in here, in the Highlands of Scotland and some parts of Ireland, in fact have some rainforests, but they are temperate. So they are not hot and humid, like the ones that we are going to focus on over here. Now, this is the main rainforest that we're going to focus on. What continent is this? This is North America. What continent is this one? South America. So we're going to look at some of the rainforests in South America. In particular, this country here, which begins with a B. One of the most famous rainforests in the world, the Amazon rainforest. We are going to be looking at the country Brazil. Okay. But first of all, we are going to just look at what is a rainforest. So rainforests are a tropical rainforest is the wettest part of the world. So it means that it rains a lot in a rainforest. It's almost always raining. Always raining. And because it's also hot and humid, the air feels quite sticky because of all of the water. Now have a think about why it would be hot and humid in a rainforest. Remember, what is this line that goes across the middle? It is the equator. So because Brazil is near the equator, it means that the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, is going to be very hot and humid. The temperature is normally about 33 degrees. So if I put that into context for you, that is a very, 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 very hot day in the summer. We probably only find these temperatures very rarely. We don't often feel these temperatures in the UK as it's rather cold most of the time. And it doesn't change from the daytime or the nighttime. So usually here in the UK, if we get a hot day, when the sun goes down, it goes really cold again. But in the rainforest, it stays like this all day long. Okay. So let's have a look at the layers of the rainforest, because those of you that have been to the rainforest, it is covered in trees, very tall trees as well. So the rainforest is split up into 4 different layers. So it's split up into the top bit here called the emergent layer. So this is where all of the big leaves from the tops of the trees are. Okay. Here you might find a few birds as well, and they scour over the top of the emergent layer. We've got the canopy layer, which is a little bit more sheltered than the emergent layer, so it doesn't get as much rainfall as it's got those big leaves protecting them at the top. You've got the understory layer. This is where there might be trees and branches for animals to climb and hop and through the rainforest. And then you've got the wet forest floor. So this is where all of the rainfall, all the rain comes down and it stays quite damp on the forest floor. So this is where you might find bugs and beetles, different things that are on the forest floor. Okay, so we've also got one more layer, which I forgot to say, and that's going to say the canopy layer. We've also got the canopy layer. Oh, that's in the one in the middle there. So different animals live on different layers of the rainforest. So you wouldn't find a snake living at the top of the rainforest layer. Okay, as you can see here, a snake and monkeys live towards the understory. So different animals live in different areas of the rainforest because they all have different needs. Okay, so they might find particular food in that layer of the rainforest. They might like a particular temperature or particular amount of water in that section of the rainforest. There's a little video just below that I'd like you to watch that explains the layers of the rainforest a little bit more. So once you're done with this video, you can rewatch that one. Okay, I'm going to show you some animals, and I would like you to have a think about where each of them live. You can either shout with the video or you can write it down. Spider monkey. Where would a spider monkey live? Have a think what a spider monkey might need. He might need to swing from branch to branch. Lives in the emergent layer. So if I go back to he lives in this one here. He likes to be tall up in the trees, swinging from the branches and being able to oversee the rest of the rainforest. You might have thought that he might be in the canopy layer. He probably goes from one to the other, depending on what he's doing. The macaw. Where is a bright bird like this? You're going to find that in the canopy, so right in the tops of the trees, scouring over to find its prey. The owl butterfly, look at that. What beautiful wings. It disguises itself as an owl. Very cool. Where do you think it lives? That one lives in the emergent layer, so right in the top. Okay, just as we expected, we can see the butterflies up in the top of the emergent layer. Okay, let's have a look at our jaguar. Where do you think our jaguar might live? This isn't a tiger, this isn't a leopard, this is a jaguar, and they live in the rainforest. They like the hot, humid, wet conditions. They live in the understory. They don't live right on the forest floor, but they like to have a little bit of height, but they explore through the understory layer. We have got the harpy eagle. Now, a lot of the birds, they again right in the canopy. This one is just sitting in the emergent layer, so just below the canopy. The toucan. Now, the toucan's very famous for its nice, big, long, bright orange beak. Where is the toucan going to sit? So we know that a lot of the birds go towards the top. So do you think it's going to be the canopy or the emergent layer? They live in the canopy. They go right to the tops of the trees, scouring over the rainforest. Has anyone ever seen this animal before? This is an anteater, quite commonly known for its really long nose. And do you know why it's called an anteater? Because it eats ants. What is that? Now have a think about where he is. Where do you think that he's going to be in the rainforest? That's right. He's on the forest floor. Why would he be on the forest floor? What does he eat? He eats ants. Where do ants live? On the forest floor. So he's not going to be climbing up into the tops of the trees. He's going to want to be on the forest floor looking for those insects. Now, there are Amazon river dolphins, pink river dolphins that you can find in the Amazon. They go in the, what's the famous river in the Amazon called? The river, it's a very long river, the River Nile. We've got the River Nile running through the Amazon rainforest. Now, they live on the forest floor, okay? They live right on the bottom. They live in the river, of course, but that's towards the bottom. Okay, the blue morpho butterfly, this bright, vibrant colour butterfly. Now, we have already had one butterfly. Do you think it's going to live in the same level? Do you remember where the butterfly lived? That's right, it lives in the emergent layer, so not right in the top in the canopy, the one just underneath. I might have already shown it. The poison arrow dart frog. Now, in art this term, we are going to be having a look at frogs, and we're going to be drawing and looking at patterns and colours of frogs in art. So a lot of the frogs in the rainforest are actually poisonous, hence why this bright colour to warn off those predators. Where do you think, if you didn't spot it already, where do you think the dart frog is going to be quite low? He's not going to be high up in the trees. He lives in the understory, so that's where a lot of the water goes as well from some of the leaves and the trees. It's not right down on the forest floor because he might be vulnerable to other predators, so he might get eaten. You may have definitely seen one of these little rainforest animals before, a sloth. Very, very, one of the slowest creatures on this earth. Very, very slow. Where do you think he goes? He likes to climb through branches at a very slow pace. Where do you think he lives? Well, he lives right in the top of the canopy. He goes way up high and he climbs through the trees on the top. A rufous-tailed jacama, so, known for its very pointy beak there. Where do you think this little bird lives? The canopy lives right on the tops of the trees like the other birds. The anaconda, obviously, this is one of the snakes that live in the rainforest. So not all snakes live in the rainforest, but certain snakes like that humidity and that wetness. Where does an anaconda live? On the understory. So he's not right on the forest floor, vulnerable to predators. He is just up in the understory. So there is another little video for you to watch all about the animals that might give you a little bit more information as well. There's also, I'm going to put a link to this website, rainforestanimals.net. This is a website you might use for your research today. So you're learning, you are going to you can have a choice of activities. You can research an animal that I've already shown you. So you might research the anaconda, you might research the anteater, and you're going to write down any facts in a creative way. So you can either write, if you're doing an anaconda, you could write it around a snake. If you're doing a butterfly, you could write it in, if you're researching one of the types of butterflies, or if you're researching all butterflies in the rainforest, you could put your facts in here. Or what you could do is create your own rainforest with each layer. So you could do a drawing, draw some trees, draw the different layers of the rainforest, and draw a variety of animals that might live in the different layers of the rainforest. Okay. So two different activities today. You can either research a particular animal that lives in the rainforest, or create your own rainforest layers, like draw it, or you can create it in a different way, and label the different layers and the animals that live in each layer. Okay, looking forward to seeing your first learning all about the rainforest. Well done, Year 4.